Wake up, sunshine. It's 6 a.m. Time to trade another 24 hours of your biological existence for a paycheck that barely covers your rent. We are raised on the great American myth. Work hard, grind, hustle, and you will be rewarded. They tell you that hard work builds character, but they forget to mention that it destroys your body. We treat ourselves like rental cars. We drive hard, ignore the check engine light, and assume we'll run forever. But whether you are sitting in a climate-controlled cubicle or sweating steel in a factory, your job is extracting a toll. And I'm not talking about taxes. I'm talking about your cartilage, your DNA, your sanity, and your blood. Today, we are auditing the human body at work. We have compiled a list of 30 professions that are secretly dismantling you, cell by cell. But don't panic yet. For every threat, we've found a way to fight back. So pour yourself another cup of that radioactive office coffee, sit back in your non-ergonomic chair, and let's see exactly how to survive the grind. This is 30 jobs that are slowly killing you. Job number 1, the nail technician. Let's start with the price of beauty. When you walk into a nail salon, that sharp chemical smell isn't cleanliness. It is a biological weapon we call the toxic trio: formaldehyde, toluene, and dibutyl phthalate. It sounds like a bad science fiction experiment because, frankly, it is one. Formaldehyde is used to embalm dead bodies, yet nail techs breathe it in for 10 hours a day. Studies show that working in a salon for a decade does the same respiratory damage as smoking a pack a day. These chemicals are lipophilic. They love fat, so they absorb right through your skin and head straight for your organs. You are polishing nails, but you are slowly embalming yourself. Here is the survival hack. Wear a proper N95 mask with a carbon filter, not those cheap paper ones. And wear nitrile gloves, not latex. If your clients complain, tell them you're practicing for the apocalypse. Job number 2, the office worker. You think you're safe because you have air conditioning and a swivel chair? Think again. In America, we call this sedentary death syndrome. Humans evolved to hunt and run, not to stare at a spreadsheet for 40 years. When you sit for just 6 hours, your body shuts down the production of lipoprotein lipase, an enzyme that burns fat. Essentially, your blood turns into sludge, and your risk of type 2 diabetes skyrockets. Plus, the passive-aggressive emails from your boss keep you in a constant fight-or-flight mode, marinating your organs in cortisol. The chair isn't a perk, my friend. It's a slow-motion coffin. Here is the survival hack. Set a timer for 55 minutes. When it rings, stand up. You don't have to run a marathon. Just stand up for 2 minutes to reset your biology. Do it now. Job number 3, the welder. That beautiful blue smoke rising from the welding torch? It looks mesmerizing, but it is a neurotoxic cloud. Welding fumes are packed with manganese, a heavy metal that your body cannot process. It bypasses your lungs' filters, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and settles in your basal ganglia. Over time, this leads to manganism, a condition almost identical to Parkinson's disease. Tremors, slow movement, memory loss. You spend your life making things strong and permanent, while you are literally welding your own nervous system shut. Here is the survival hack. Don't trust the shop fan. Wear a powered air purifying respirator. It looks like a space helmet, but it keeps your brain from rusting. Job number 4, the long-haul truck driver. They call truckers the backbone of the economy, but the cost is the driver's spine. It is called whole-body vibration. The constant, low-frequency rumble of the diesel engine vibrates your skeleton, slowly turning your spinal discs into dust. After 20 years, your back looks like a stack of crushed Oreos. Then there is the diesel exhaust, a Class 1 carcinogen. You are essentially working inside a chimney. The life expectancy of a U.S. trucker is drastically lower than the average. They keep on trucking right up until their hearts stop. Here is the survival hack. Get a high-quality gel seat cushion. It absorbs the vibration before it hits your spine. It costs $50, and it might just keep you walking past age 60. Buy the damn cushion. Job number 5, the hairdresser. We are back in the beauty industry. Permanent hair dyes are chemical cocktails containing aromatic amines. When these enter your body, your kidneys try to be the hero and filter them out, sending them to the bladder. But here is the problem. Hairdressers are often so busy they don't have time to pee. So, these concentrated carcinogens sit in the bladder for hours, attacking the organ wall. Statistics don't lie. Stylists have a significantly higher risk of bladder cancer. Beauty comes at a price, and your kidneys are paying the bill. Here is the survival hack. Drink water and pee. Seriously, don't hold it in for a client. Diluting the toxins in your bladder is the cheapest health insurance you can get. Job number 6. The night shift worker. Humans are not owls. We are wired to the sun. When you work the graveyard shift, you are fighting millions of years of evolution, and you are losing. Working against your circadian rhythm suppresses melatonin, the body's primary anti-cancer hormone. Without it, your cells start to mutate. The World Health Organization has officially classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen. You are literally trading your sleep for a higher risk of breast and prostate cancer. They call it the graveyard shift for a reason. Here is the survival hack. Total blackout. When you sleep during the day, use blackout curtains and an eye mask. Trick your brain into thinking it's midnight. If you can see your hand in front of your face, your room isn't dark enough. Job number 7. The construction worker. Dust. It seems harmless, right? Wrong. The dust from cutting concrete or brick contains crystalline silica. When you inhale these microscopic shards, they embed themselves deep into the lung tissue. Your immune system creates scar tissue around them. This is silicosis. It is incurable and suffocating. Your lungs literally turn to stone from the inside out. You build the skyscrapers, but the concrete builds a tomb inside your chest. Here is the survival hack. Never cut dry. Use water to suppress the dust. If you see a dust cloud, hold your breath and walk away. Your lungs are not a vacuum cleaner bag. Job number 8. The flight attendant and pilot. It sounds like a dream job. Travel the world, get paid. But at 35,000 feet, the atmosphere is too thin to protect you from cosmic radiation. A flight crew gets hit with more annual radiation than workers at a nuclear power plant. This leads to higher rates of melanoma and breast cancer. Plus, sitting in a pressurized tube for 12 hours thickens your blood, leading to deep vein thrombosis. The radiation is rewriting your DNA, while you serve peanuts. Here is the survival hack. Wear medical-grade compression socks to stop blood clots, and wear sunscreen, even inside the cockpit. The UV rays at that altitude are brutal. Job number 9. The firefighter. The fire isn't the main killer anymore. It's the furniture. Modern homes are full of plastics and synthetics. When they burn, they release a toxic soup of benzene, formaldehyde, and cyanide. Firefighters are running into clouds of chemical warfare. The toxins absorb through the skin, especially around the neck where the gear has gaps. Cancer is now the leading cause of death for firefighters, far outpacing burns. Here is the survival hack. Decon immediately. Shower within the hour after a fire. Scrub your skin like your life depends on it, because the soot on your neck is trying to kill you. Job number 10. The dentist. You hate the dentist? Imagine being the dentist. First, the high-pitched whine of the drill destroys hearing. Second, hunching over mouths destroys the spine. But the real killer is mental. Dentists have some of the highest suicide rates in the professional world. High debt, isolation, and dealing with patients who are terrified of you takes a toll. It's a job that fixes smiles but destroys happiness. Here is the survival hack. Invest in custom-molded earplugs that filter high frequencies. And for the mental part, get a therapist. You listen to patients complain all day. Find someone who will listen to you. Job number 11. The painter. You walk into a freshly painted room and take a deep breath. That new house smell? That is the smell of brain damage. Most industrial paints and thinners contain volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. Here is the biology lesson. These solvents are lipophilic, meaning they dissolve in fat. And guess what? Your human brain is composed of about 60% fat. When you inhale paint fumes day after day, the solvents literally dissolve into your brain tissue. This leads to a condition historically known as painter's dementia. It starts with memory loss and mood swings, and ends with significant cognitive decline. You are earning a living by coating walls in color, but in the process, you are slowly erasing the canvas of your own mind. Here is the survival hack. A simple dust mask does absolutely nothing against fumes. You need a respirator with organic vapor cartridges. If you can smell the paint, the mask isn't working. Change the filters. Job number 12. The line cook and chef. We glorify the kitchen life on TV, the shouting, the fire, the passion. But biologically, a professional kitchen is a war zone. First, there is the heat. Standing over a stove for 12 hours causes chronic venous insufficiency. Your leg veins literally collapse. But the real killer is the air. When cooking oil hits a hot pan, it releases aldehydes, potent carcinogens linked to lung cancer. A busy commercial kitchen without perfect ventilation is chemically similar to a smoking lounge. The food might be 5-star, but the working conditions are 0 stars for your lungs. Here is the survival hack. Wear compression socks every single shift. It stops your veins from exploding. And if the hood vent is broken, don't cook. Walk out. No steak is worth lung cancer. Job number 13. The dry cleaner. You drop off your suit and it comes back smelling crisp and fresh. But that signature dry cleaning scent is actually perchloroethylene, or PERC. It is a chlorinated solvent used to strip dirt from delicate fabrics. It is also a powerful neurotoxin and a liver poison. In the US, PERC is being slowly phased out, but thousands of workers are still breathing it in daily. Prolonged exposure destroys the kidneys and the liver as your body desperately tries to filter the poison out. That clean suit is soaked in a dirty secret. Here is the survival hack. Change your clothes immediately when you get home and shower. Don't hug your kids while wearing your work clothes. You are covered in invisible neurotoxins. Job number 14. The farmer. The American heartland. We imagine fresh air and honest work. But modern agriculture has a dark side. Farmers have significantly higher rates of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Why? Pesticides. Chemicals like glyphosate are sprayed in massive quantities, and the wind carries them right into the farmer's lungs. Then there is farmer's lung, a serious allergic reaction to moldy hay. But the saddest statistic is mental. Due to economic despair and isolation, farmers in the US have one of the highest suicide rates of any profession. They feed the world, but the world is eating them alive. Here is the survival hack. Invest in a tractor with a sealed, pressurized cabin and high-grade air filters. It's expensive, but it's cheaper than chemotherapy. Job number 15. The coal miner. This is the classic American tragedy, but don't think it is history. Black lung disease is still killing thousands. It is brutally simple. You inhale coal dust, and because the particles are inorganic, your body cannot break them down. They sit in the alveoli of your lungs, causing massive inflammation and scarring. Eventually, the lung tissue turns black and solidifies. You suffocate while you are still walking around. Even with modern respirators, the dust finds a way. It is a job where you carry the mine inside you until the day you die. Here is the survival hack. Shave your beard. A respirator mask cannot seal against facial hair. If you have stubble, you are breathing dust. Choose the beard or your lungs. We are halfway through the graveyard. Did I miss your job yet? If you do something dangerous that isn't on this list, like underwater welding or teaching kindergarten, tell me in the comments. I want to know how you are risking it all. Job number 16. The veterinarian. You think being a vet is all about cuddling puppies? Think again. Veterinary medicine is one of the most psychologically damaging professions on Earth. Vets deal with trauma and abuse daily. But the hardest part is euthanasia. Ending the life of a creature you love, over and over again, takes a massive toll on the human soul. It is called compassion fatigue. Combined with easy access to lethal drugs, this leads to a suicide rate that is 4 times higher than the general population. They save our best friends, but often cannot save themselves. Here is the survival hack. Leave work at work. You need a ritual to disconnect and talk to your peers. You aren't weak for feeling the weight of death. You're human. Job number 17. The cashier. This one will shock you. The danger isn't the customers, it's the receipt paper. Thermal paper is coated in bisphenol A, or BPA. It is a chemical that turns black when heated. BPA is an endocrine disruptor. It mimics estrogen. When you hold a receipt, the BPA absorbs through your skin and into your bloodstream in seconds. If you are handling thousands of receipts a day, your hormonal balance is under attack. This is linked to reproductive issues and cancer. You are chemically altering your biology every time you hand someone their change. Here is the survival hack. Never use hand sanitizer before touching receipts. Alcohol opens your pores and increases chemical absorption by 100 times. Wash with soap and water only. Job number 18. The air traffic controller. Imagine a job where a single moment of distraction could result in a national tragedy. That is the daily reality of an air traffic controller. The psychological pressure is so intense that it manifests physically. Chronic surges of cortisol and adrenaline wreck the cardiovascular system. Controllers have extremely high rates of hypertension and stomach ulcers before age 40. The human brain simply cannot sustain that level of hypervigilance without breaking. Here is the survival hack. You need a strict decompression routine. No screens, no noise, and no decisions for 1 hour after work. Let your brain idle. Job number 19. The e-waste recycler. When you throw away your old smartphone, where does it go? Often, it ends up in a recycling plant where workers smash devices to recover gold. But breaking modern tech releases a cloud of toxic dust containing lead, mercury, and arsenic. Inhaling this dust attacks the central nervous system and the kidneys. Lead accumulates in the bones, staying there for decades. It is a dirty, dangerous job that fuels our addiction to new technology. We get the shiny new iPhone. They get heavy metal poisoning. Here is the survival hack. Industrial hygiene is key. Wash your hands before you eat, smoke, or touch your face. Lead dust is sticky and sweet-tasting. Don't eat your work. Job number 20. The mortician. There is a cruel irony to the funeral industry. To make the dead look peaceful, morticians use embalming fluid, which is primarily formaldehyde. It is a known carcinogen. Studies have found that embalmers have a significantly higher risk of myeloid leukemia and brain cancer. They spend their careers preserving bodies to stop them from decaying, but the chemicals they use are actively causing their own bodies to decay from the inside out. Death, it seems, is contagious. Here is the survival hack. Ventilation is your best friend. If the prep room smells strong, the ventilation is failing. And wear your PPE. Treat the chemicals with more fear than the corpses. Job number 21. The baker. The smell of fresh bread is the smell of comfort, but for the baker, it is the smell of respiratory failure. Baker's asthma is a very real, documented medical condition. Flour dust is a fine particulate and a potent allergen. When inhaled day after day, it triggers a massive immune response in the airways. Over decades, this constant inflammation scarifies the lungs, leading to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. You might make the best sourdough in the city, but you are wheezing your way to an early oxygen tank. It proves that even the most wholesome profession can be deadly if you breathe it in long enough. Here is the survival hack. Flour becomes airborne when you pour it. Don't dump the bag, slide it gently, and wear a mask during the mixing phase. Your lungs are for air, not gluten. Job number 22. The interventional cardiologist. These doctors are heroes who unclog arteries and save lives, but they perform these surgeries under live X-ray guidance. Even though they wear lead aprons, their heads and eyes are often exposed. Over a 30-year career, the cumulative radiation dose is shocking. Studies have shown that these specialists have disproportionately high rates of cataracts and brain tumors. Specifically, they tend to get tumors on the left side of the brain, the side that typically faces the X-ray source during surgery. They spend their lives fixing other people's hearts, while radiation slowly dismantles their own brains. Here is the survival hack. Lead glasses and a lead skull cap are mandatory, not optional. You look like a dork, but you won't have a brain tumor. You choose. Job number 23. The janitor. We ignore the people who clean up our mess, but they are facing a chemical warfare zone. Cleaning products are harsh solvents, and mixing them can be fatal. Mixing bleach and ammonia, a common mistake, creates chloramine gas, which burns the lungs instantly. But even without accidents, the daily use of aerosol sprays damages lung capacity. A major European study found that cleaning for a living causes lung function decline equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for 20 years. It is chemically identical to a smoking habit, just without the nicotine buzz. Here is the survival hack. Stop using sprays. Pour the cleaner onto the cloth, not into the air. If you can't inhale it, it can't hurt you. Job number 24. The tire and rubber manufacturer. You know that acrid smell of burning rubber? That is the smell of bladder and stomach cancer. Manufacturing tires involves heating crude rubber with a cocktail of toxic chemicals. Workers are exposed to dusts and fumes that are legendary in occupational medicine for shortening lifespans. The incidence of leukemia and lymphoma in this industry is historically high. You are essentially cooking poison. Every time you drive your car, remember that the tires rolling beneath you were born in a cloud of carcinogens. Here is the survival hack. Shower at the factory before you go home. Do not bring that rubber dust into your car or your house. Keep the poison at work. Job number 25. The teacher. People think teaching is just glorified babysitting. Biologically, it is an endurance sport in a toxic environment. First, schools are germ factories. Teachers are bombarded with viruses that exhaust their immune systems. Second, the noise. A school cafeteria hits 85 decibels, the same as a lawnmower. Chronic noise raises cortisol levels, damaging the heart. And finally, the voice. Teachers suffer from vocal nodules and laryngitis at alarming rates. They aren't just teaching, they are slowly burning out. Here is the survival hack. Use a microphone. Stop shouting over the kids. And wash your hands like a surgeon between every class. Children are biological vectors. Job number 26. The police officer. Forget the gunfights. It is the adrenaline that kills the cop. Police work is defined by hours of boredom followed by moments of sheer terror. This is called the adrenaline dump. Going from sitting in a patrol car to a high-speed chase spikes cortisol and heart rate instantly. This repeated shock to the system tears apart blood vessels. The statistics are terrifying. The average age of a first heart attack for a U.S. police officer is 49. For the general public, it is 67. The badge comes with an 18-year penalty on your heart's lifespan. Here is the survival hack. Learn tactical breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Do this immediately after a stressful event to forcibly lower your heart rate. Job number 27. The asphalt paver. Road work is brutal. You are working under the hot sun, which is bad enough, but the material you are laying down is worse. Hot mix asphalt releases fumes containing PAH, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These are potent carcinogens. You are essentially paving roads while inhaling tar and bitumen fumes. The heat opens your pores, allowing the toxins to absorb even faster. It is a toxic double whammy. Heat stroke risk from above and chemical poisoning from below. Here is the survival hack. Wear long sleeves, even in summer. It prevents the chemicals from absorbing through your skin. And stay upwind of the paver whenever possible. Job number 28. The freelancer and remote worker. Welcome to the modern plague, loneliness. You might think working from home in your pajamas is safe, but social isolation is a biological killer. We are social primates. When we are isolated, our bodies enter a state of inflammation. Chronic loneliness increases cortisol levels and blood pressure. Studies show that isolation is as deadly as obesity or smoking 15 cigarettes a day. You are safe from the commute, but the silence of your home office is damaging your heart just as surely as any chemical. Here is the survival hack. Go work in a coffee shop once a week. Just being around other humans regulates your nervous system. You don't have to talk to them, just be near them. Job number 29. The textile worker. This sounds like a job from the 1800s, but it is still very real. Brown lung, or bisonosis, comes from inhaling cotton or hemp dust. The fibers settle in the airways, causing chest tightness and a struggle to breathe that feels like a permanent asthma attack. We wear cotton because it feels natural and soft, but for the people spinning the thread, the air is thick with danger. The fashion industry moves fast, but the damage to the worker's lungs lasts forever. Here is the survival hack. If the air looks hazy, put on a respirator. Cotton dust is organic, but your lungs can't digest it. Protect your chest. Job number 30. The pro athlete. We end with the modern gladiator. The NFL player, the boxer, the rugby star. They are the epitome of physical fitness, yet they are dying young. The culprit is CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. It is not just the big knockouts, it is the thousands of micro-concussions from tackling and hitting. The brain turns to mush, filled with toxic proteins. This leads to dementia, aggression, and depression, often before the age of 40. They trade their brains for a Super Bowl ring, only to forget their own names by the time they retire. Here is the survival hack. There is no hack for brain damage. If you get hit hard, sit out. The warrior mentality will leave you drooling at 50. Protect your head. Conclusion. So, there you have it. 30 ways to make a living and 30 ways to die trying. The point of this list isn't to make you quit your job and live in a cave. The point is to realize that your job is a transaction. You are selling your time and your skill. Do not let them take your health for free. Wear the mask, take the break, sit up straight. And remember, your company is not your family. If you drop dead tomorrow, your job opening will be posted before your obituary. Take care of your biological machine, because unlike your job, you can't just quit and get a new one. Thanks for watching. If you want to know how your own house is trying to kill you, click the video on the screen right now. Sweet dreams.